Hey everyone, I'm the Nature Hacker and this is your world. So today I want to talk about a few different things. First I want to talk a little bit about politics and what I think about it. And what I really think about politics in general is that when we reach the place that we need to reach, there will no longer be politics. So when we get to where we're going, we won't have politics. We won't need politics. So the way to get to where we're going is everybody pursuing their dreams, to some extent, where doing what you were made to do. And I mean, you're born with it. I mean, it takes a while to figure out what you're good at, what you love to do, and stuff. But the thing is that you're born with your destiny, and the key is to find that destiny, pursue it. Um, you know, what I'm finding right now is yes, there is a path for me where I can totally do that, just totally pursue my destiny, and do everything open source, do everything selflessly and things like that. But the problem with that is that there would be no room in my life for a partner, for someone else. So I feel like this life, you can think of this life as like being in the womb, of your mother, for 9 months. Our life, let's say it's 90 years. It's like the 9 months in our womb, in our mother's womb. So it's like this life is preparing us for the next life. And if that's the case, then there are certain things that we need in this life to be able to be born healthy and happy into the next life. And what that would be love. I've talked in the past about love and what I believe about it. And so if we don't experience all of the forms of love in this life, and there's definitely a multitude of ways to experience that, but one thing is I just have to, well, I feel like I need a partner, to experience some of that love. But um, there are other ways to experience that love. I'm sure you could figure it out more than I could. But we need to have that. It's kind of like, you need magnesium, you need calcium when you're growing in your mom's womb. It's like, yeah, um, you can say that you don't need it, or that you're too good for that or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're not gonna be born healthy in the next life without the requirements, the essentials in this life. And I feel like love, different forms, from philia to eros to storge to agape, are all required nutrients basically for us to be born healthy in the next life. So I feel like that's important for us to do. Um, so yeah, anyway, so what comes with that is you have to compromise. It's not just your morals, your standards, your destiny, your dreams. It's both of your morals, both of your standards, both your destinies, both your dreams, and trying to gain middle ground to how you can both live the life that you're supposed to live together. So it's like you can't just totally focus on yourself. You have to accommodate somebody else as well. So so that's what I feel about that. And as far as politics, the politics are basically people who are lording over other people, people who are ruling over other people. And where we're going to be going, hopefully, is a place where we no longer need that. We no longer have that, people ruling over others. This doesn't happen. Everybody does what they do. They collaborate. They have connections. Everybody makes sure their needs are getting met. There's no need for government. What does government do? What do you need it to do? Build roads? I mean, I'm sure we could figure out another way to collaborate and build and maintain roads. There's things like private roads. We could do that, where everybody that uses the road helps pay for it and things like that. Bridges, same thing. Um, There's really no reason we need these rulers over us, and it's obvious because they get in there, they don't really do anything. They're just going to these, elaborate parties and, having, you know, just decadent lifestyles and stuff, and so it's not necessary. We don't need them. So hopefully, over time, we'll outgrow them, no longer need them, starve them out. Especially the banking system, the global central banks. That's why Trump, even if he was good, which a lot of ways he's not good, but even if he was good, he still would not have power to really stop wars because the global central bankers will create false flags that bring us into wars. So, we're at a bad place, and not only do we still have the global central bankers, we're becoming so divided as a people that we are on what seems to be almost a civil war like situation. Like the left, yeah, they're not really, that armed, and that most of the people who are military veterans were conservatives. They're not liberals. So the liberals, what they have is basically disruption. Their tactic is disruption, disrupting society. Protests, riots, things like this, chaos. And the right is more of like country, small town, military, things like that. So there could easily be clashes between the order and chaos groups and stuff, which we don't need. That's not what we want. That's what the bankers want. They want to have us fighting each other so that they can just keep staying behind the scenes and stealing all of the money. So and exerting control. So as long as we're focused on ourselves and our own problems, they are winning. They are beating us. So what really needs to happen is slowly over time we need to get rid of our dependence on the Federal Reserve, on the central banking system. So we need to learn to live without that. Basically, refuse to take debt, refuse to take loans. That's basically, if you can do that, then you're really hurting that banking system. So there's that, and so what I want to also tell you that I'm probably not going to be making videos. I'm sure you noticed that I haven't made a video in a few days, and that's because I've actually been looking for a job. Yeah, I've been looking for a job, and this is part of the compromise thing I'm talking about. Yes, I could keep, and I'm still going to keep doing my website, so don't worry. I'm not going to abandon that or anything like that. I'm still going to keep doing it, don't worry. It may take me a little longer to ship things out, but, it is what it is. But I am looking for a job, and that's part of the compromise thing. I just don't feel like, I feel like my website has hit a plateau, basically. And, and Nature Hacker it was a personal quest. Nature Hacker was a personal quest to improve my health. And to help other people in that process. As I conquer my health, that's the way I am. I'm not going to do something just for myself. It's like, it's not worth my effort. And I put in everything I got. When I do something, I put in everything I got. So I might as well share that. Because, look, if it's just for myself, it's not even really worth it. It's not even really worth the effort I'm putting in, literally. I guess you could say it is worth it. Like, this body is, worth $1 million and more. It's ultra valuable. But really, I wouldn't be putting in as much effort, obviously. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't be putting as much effort in, except to teach you guys, to empower you guys, to help all of you, and help you to conquer your health as I conquer my health. So that's the goal of Nature Hacker. The goal of Nature Hacker is to help you while I help myself. We can all progress together. We can all grow together. We can all learn together. Open source the knowledge. So if something happens to me, I don't want to die with all the knowledge still in my head and nobody else know it. What's the point? What's the point unless that can be spread, unless that can be shared? So that's what the point of Nature Hacker is. And really, I'm nearing the end of the goal of Nature Hacker, and the goal of Nature Hacker was to bring myself and all of you to a place of vibrant health, where you have tons of energy, where I have tons of energy, where I have no problems, where if any problem crops up, I have the tools on hand to solve the problem, and with every one of you as well. And I feel like I've really gotten there. I mean, the last piece of the puzzle for me was glucuronic acid. That's how to detox organochlorine pesticides, things like DDT, things like PBB. You know, just these fat accumulative toxins. They attack the thyroid. They cause baldness. They cause low thyroid, low energy. They cause man boobs. They cause polycystic ovary problems. They cause insulin resistance. They cause H. pylori, etc. So these pesticides were my last thing to conquer. And I've conquered all of my other health problems. All of my other health problems, I conquered it. I've found it. I've gained the tools. I've created the tools. So before that, the last thing I needed to do was essential oil blends for kidney health, for just systemic gram-negative bacteria in the blood, in the bone marrow, in the brain, things like that. So I had that, and then the last thing was glucuronic acid. I'm making a lot of progress on glucuronic acid. I have a new Z-Tox, a new generation of Z-Tox coming out, which uses the new glucuronic acid I'm making. I'm scaling up. I'm buying equipment to make this better, vacuum pumps, etc., vacuum chambers. So it's going to be great, but that's pretty much it. Once I have that, I have all of the tools. All the tools are made. So Nature Hacker has been completed, and it's not like me to just keep profiting off of something. When I complete something, I'm going to move on, and yes, I'm going to keep tweaking things, protocols and ingredients and recipes are going to keep getting tweaked. You're going to keep improving. That's just the way it is. I mean, that's what I have to do. I have a focus. I have a goal of what I want the product to do, and I'm going to keep tweaking it to make it achieve that goal better and better. It's just what I have to do. But I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep selling it. I mean, hopefully I'll keep my credit card processing. I mean, worst case scenario, you'll just have to send me a check or cash or whatever, and just write, on a slip of paper what you want, and here's the money for it, and I'll ship it out to you. Worst case, but for now, I'm going to keep my credit card processing. It is like $40 a month, so it's a little expensive, but hopefully I'm able to find a job pretty soon and, have plenty of money to be able to pay for that and whatever. So Nature Hacker, it's nearing completion. It's been about almost 2 years, I guess. Yeah, it's probably been 2 years. Roughly, yeah. And I'm pretty much done. I've mastered the human body. I mean, pretty amazing. And I have to say, what I've done in 2 years is pretty dang amazing. Solved all of my problems, and I didn't have a few either. Quite a few problems. So, I mean, hopefully, there's a lot of my problems are still resting on this glucuronic acid. Can the glucuronic acid do it? So I'm taking it now. We're seeing. But yeah, my diet, oh man, that was a breakthrough. I mean, like my stomach, I have barely any fat at all in my stomach anymore. Just from, eating only carbs until 9 a.m. and then only vegetables like 12 to 1, and then only fats and proteins from like 4 to 6 or whatever. So that really did a lot. So anyway, the point is, Nature Hacker is almost complete. Nature Hacker is not going to go away, but I'm going to move on, to focus my energy into something else. And really, I need a job. Like I said, I could do this for myself, and that'd be great and everything. But I feel like in this life we need to experience these forms of love, and I feel like I need to have a partner. So I'm going to pursue that, and to pursue that, I need a job. That's just one of the compromises I have to make. So I am going to be looking for a job. I bought a car a couple days ago, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I actually get to drive around. I'm going to go. One thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to talk about this next, is what I look for in a girl. But what I want to do, two of my favorite things are trance music and health. So, there's a couple other things I like, snowboarding, but things like um, video games to some extent. I haven't played video games in a long time, but there's something about the MMO genre that interests me, and I feel like it can be a good platform to help people to, talk to people, etc. But a big one is trance music. A big thing that I'm into is trance music and electric cars and technology stuff like that. But so what I'm going to be doing is I want to try to find these trance music events and stuff and try to meet a girl there and stuff and trance music things and also health stuff, health events, health and wellness stuff. Obviously, I'm really into that, so try to meet a girl locally and one of those two things. And that brings me to what I look for in a girl. And you know that, I mean, if you're a girl or if you're a guy, you know that guys are concerned about girls' looks. It's just kind of how it is. I mean, girls are also concerned about guys' looks to a good extent too. But what I feel about this is I feel like there's just a bar. It's like I'm not that concerned about looks. I need the looks to meet a certain requirement. The physical, and I'm not just saying looks, physical stuff. Like number one is age. Okay, I mean, I don't really want a girl that's more than 5 years older than me. I think that's pretty reasonable. I would prefer a girl that's my age or younger. Okay, and then the only really other thing that I kind of need is for the girl to be my weight or less. If it's, it just, I feel like kind of need that, and I feel like pretty much any girl that is a reasonable weight will be beautiful. I mean, everybody's unique, and I like, everybody's, different look and everything. I like it. And most guys do. It's just being somewhat slim, or thin, somewhat. I mean, not super thin or anything, but like just my weight or less, I would be really happy with. So those are really the only two things that I really look for. I mean, I feel like pretty much anyone at a reasonable weight is pretty beautiful. And you might say, oh, well, you have no standards. All you want is a girl who weighs less than you and a girl who is your age or younger. Like, that's pretty much a lot of people. And good. I'm glad that's a lot of people. I mean, my standards for looks are not that stringent. There's other things I look for, and that's what I'm going to get into. But so think that's a good thing. And the reason I'm saying this is not because I'm looking for somebody. I'm looking for one of you, to be my partner or anything. I'm looking locally, but I'm just telling you this stuff because I feel like somebody needs to talk about it. I mean, there's a lot of girls and a lot of guys that are very concerned about looks, about money, about whatever, that they don't match up, that nobody will like them because they don't have this or that. And I'm telling you that, at least for me, and I feel like a lot of other people, as long as you're a reasonable weight and your age is similar, guys will probably like you. I mean, good guys will. There's always the douchebags, which you don't want anyway. You're dodging a bullet there. So, you don't need the most expensive makeup. You don't need high heels. You don't need the hottest dress. You don't need the perfect tan. You don't need the longest hair. You don't need the biggest boobs. You don't need the biggest butt. I mean, if you're a decent weight and your age matches, that should be enough for good guys to be interested in you, okay? So that's kind of the bar that I go by. And honestly, I'm not quite selfless enough to be attracted to a girl that's 10 years older than me. I can't get there, So, but, and a girl that's very, very, very heavy, difficult for me. Okay, difficult for me to find attractive, difficult for me to be excited about. It's like, okay, well, we won't be able to really do much. There's going to be like medical problems, things like that. But on the other hand, Now, there's always something that will make a guy think that a girl is 10 times more interesting, more attractive than she is physically. Okay, so we have the physical thing, right? And for me, it's just a bar. Just as long as you can pass those requirements, then I almost certainly will possibly like you. Okay, will almost certainly. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. Almost certainly you'll pass that test for me. Okay. Now, there's what I want to get into is there's always this little thing. Now, with one of my friends who's an avid snowboarder, I love snowboarding too, but one of my friends is like, dude, he's like, there's something about snowboarder chicks. I mean, she could not be the hottest girl around, but if she snowboards, dang, she's a 10, you know? So there's little things that can make guys just go crazy for a girl, you know, even if you're not, the most model-esque body or whatever. If you can fulfill these little requirements that guys have, basically it's like if you're cool. If you're cool, and lots of people are like, oh, I snowboard. If I could find a snowboard girl, oh my gosh, like she's so much more attractive. Or if a skater guy meets a skater girl, she's so much more attractive than any other girl. For me, I don't know. Can you guess what really makes me attracted to somebody? Can you guess? I want you to take a few seconds. Just think about who I am, what I do, what I like to do. You might come up with two things, and you'd be kind of right about both, but one of them is way better than the other. So, what do I, Nature Hacker, what really gets my heart? I don't know. It's not that my heart beats any faster, but what really gets me attracted to a girl? What do you think would really get me attracted to a girl? And yeah, I am a little prideful, so it might be something related to me. But anyway, I want you to think about it for a second and then comment. Yeah, comment below what you think really gets me interested in a girl. So comment below and see if you are right. So anyway, what that thing is for me is if a girl is interested in health. And not just interested in health, okay? Because I think what I've done in health is something insane, okay? I feel like the products that I've made are really quintessential, really universal, really really relevant, So it's like if a girl is interested in the products that I make and wants to use them and is excited to use them, that really, wow, that will turn any girl into, bump her up 5 points in the scale, at least 5 points. So that'll turn a girl who's 8 into a 13 on my scale, So that is huge for me. So, and I have not found any girl like locally at least that is interested in my product. It's just not. They're just not. Another thing that you might have come up with is conspiracy. Like if she, believes in the 9/11 conspiracy. Yeah, definitely. That's a big thing. I mean, also if she snowboards, that's pretty freaking cool to me. If she skateboards, if she plays games, that's pretty cool. A lot of guys, if you're a girl and you're like, I don't know guys are liking me. I'm pretty good looking, but no guys are liking me. Get into video games, all right? I'm telling you, let me see if my mic is okay here. Yeah, it's okay. If you get into video games and you get good at them, oh my gosh, so many guys will just be going crazy over you. Like, go to game conventions, things like that. Oh my gosh, dude, guys will be all over you. Also, I'm an engineer. Girl, really smart, good in math, physics, chemistry, biology, stuff like that. Oh my gosh, yeah. If she's like really good at that stuff, wow, that's big. So look, what kind of guy do you like? Do you like the gamer dudes? Do you like the skaters? Do you like the snowboarders? Do you like the nerds? Do you like the engineers? Do what they do and get good at it, and they will be all over you. Like, I'm telling you, it's so easy. For a guy, it feels hard. It's like, okay, I need to like get a good job so I can make a lot of money, maybe to make girls like me. I don't know. But for a girl, just get into things that the guys like, and trust me, they will go nuts. Music, if you like the same music as them, it's another big one. So anyway, girls, you don't have it that hard. Okay, you might think that you can't meet Mr. Perfect, but figure out what type of guy you like, get into that type of stuff, and get good at it, and you just bumped up 5 points at least on their scale. So anyway, that's that. So I like a girl that is interested in my products. That's really prideful and that's really self-centered, but I can't help it. I mean, if she's really into health, she will be really into herbs. She will be really into natural cures. And look, I don't want to brag, but I have the best. You know, like let's say Donald Trump at negotiating. You know, it's like, okay, if a girl really likes negotiating, Donald Trump is going to find her way more attractive, right? Well, you know, he's probably going to have to read his book. She's probably going to have read his book, The Art of the Deal, because it's like kind of the best thing out there for negotiating, you know? It's like, yeah, it's kind of self-centered, but, you know, sometimes you're at the top of the game and it's like what you've got, you know, if somebody's really into health, they're going to really like my products. It's just the way it is, you know? So anyway, but yeah, I mean, you know, like girls, sometimes they're like, you know, maybe I'll take it, and I have to like pester them I'm like, look, this will really help you with this, you know, or especially like, let's say, you know, I've dated some, you know, pretty overweight girls. I'm like, hey, you know, and this is another thing is like, I will date a very overweight girl if she likes my products, because guess what? If she takes my products, she's gonna lose weight. That's just the way it is, especially if she follows my diet. Oh my gosh, lose a ton of weight. But that's more important than weight to me, is like wanting to use my products, because I can get somebody to be very healthy. It's just I just can. So, but anyway, you know, I try to have, oh, you know, like I really think this will help you, you know, this problem, and they're like, and I have to like force them to take it, or you know. And it's just like, you know, it's just not fun. You know, if this means so much to me, and it's like if somebody doesn't really care about it, first of all, what else, you know, what else is there to talk about? I spend so much of my mental time and energy thinking about it. What else do I have to talk about? I mean, it's not like I watch football like, hey, did you see the game? What do you think about Kanye and Kim Kardashian? It's like, I don't think about that stuff at all. So it's like, I probably am going to be talking about like health stuff, maybe some chemistry, like new chemicals I'm making, or, you know, if I'm, you know, going to work, things like of that nature. But anyway, yeah, so it's such a big deal to me. But, so, that's pretty much what I look at. And besides that, I mean, so that's just the one thing. You've got, for me, you've got age, you've got, you know, decent health, you know, decent weight, things like that. And that's pretty much it. I mean, and I think most guys can appreciate the looks of pretty much anyone. You know, any girl who's basically thin is gonna look pretty good. You know, it's just will. You know, that's what's awesome about that. But okay, so we got that, and then we got this little special thing. For me, it's if she likes and wants to use my products. For other guys, it's a girl who likes games, girl who's a skater, girl who's a snowboarder, girl who likes the same music, etc., etc. Most guys don't really look for a girl who loves dancing. Yeah. Because most guys are not all that into dancing. Some are, but they're a little more effeminate, you know. So, I mean, some are. Some are. Some, you know, pretty manly guys are into dancing, and that's great. But, you know, so, I mean, if you want to be picky, you could be like, oh, I want a guy who's into dancing, and that's great and everything. But if you want to increase the amount of pool of guys that like you, get into it sounds bad, but it's like get into like guy stuff, which does sound kind of bad actually. I don't know. Anyway, so the next thing after that is I want a girl who's refined, and I don't mean like refined taste like a fine wine. No, I don't mean that. What I mean is refined by fire, like refined like gold in a fire, like has gone through hell, okay, and has come back and was not touched by it. You know, it's like there's a lot of people who've gone through bad times and their attitude sucks and they hate the world and they just want to do drugs and they just want to screw their life up and screw everything up. That's not what I look for, obviously. I want a girl who's gone through this shit, okay, but has come out the other side more beautiful, more powerful, stronger, more emotionally stable. Man, that is huge. And a lot of that's like, you know, a lot of that has to do with like me wanting a Christian girl, you know, and I am kind of Christian. I mean, I don't know what to think about Jesus other than he was awesome and I follow his example. I don't know if he was the son of God, special. I don't know if he was special, to be honest. What if he was just a guy like, a person like us who really did it, who really lived a great life, who really got inspiration from God? I don't know if he's the son of God, okay? So you might not think I'm a Christian, and that's fine. Maybe I'm not, but what I do have is I have Christian morals, and I think that's really important to have those type of morals, so that when you do go through trials, you can see through it. It's not like the trial doesn't define you. The trial tempers you. You know, like Job in the Bible, who had the worst hell on earth experiences, but he came out the other side better, stronger, more loving, more caring, every way better, okay? That is really what I look for. I mean, that is gold. I'm telling you, that is like gem. I'm telling you, like, there is nothing more valuable on this planet than a person who has overcome, a person who's gone through the hardest times, the worst situations. I don't know what it is. If you lost family, you know, if you lost loved ones, if you watched someone die, if you got hurt severely, if you had health issues, severe, if you got totally bullied, I don't know, but if you come out the other side dignified, strong, loving, caring, there's nothing like that. There's nothing more valuable on this planet than a person like that, okay? So, hell yeah, I'm definitely looking for that, definitely. So anyway, I'm not going to have as many videos, unfortunately, because instead of focusing on trying to build up Nature Hacker, try to get more customers for Nature Hacker, I'm going to focus on getting a job and finding a girl. And Nature Hacker is going to be a kind of a part-time thing, you know. So it is what it is. You know, it's a little sad, but it's also liberating. Moving on, we're finishing a chapter, really, the chapter being mastering the human body and totally writing the owner's manual for the human body. Gosh dang it. That's what we really did with Nature Hacker. So anyway, good times forward. Yeah. Please comment. Please email me at naturehackerproducts@gmail.com. I want to talk to you. I want to collaborate with you. I want to hear what you're going through. I want to help you, etc. So thanks for watching. I am the Nature Hacker. Let's do work.